Okay, girls. So we will be going to the second topic of VHDL in our subject DSD, Digital System Design. What we have learned in our previous session, we have learned about structure of VHDL, then we have seen modeling types, architecture modeling types, then we see entity declaration, architecture. So the objective of the sessions are we'll discuss features of VHDL, we'll decide the structural elements, hierarchical layout examples, and see the process instruction, and then we'll learn about variables. So the features, if you talk about features of VHDL, it is a case insensitive language. It means it does not differentiate between capital letter and a small letter. Comments until end of a line statements are terminated by. So whenever there are two consecutive dash, it will be considered as a comment. So they will be considered as a comment. List delimiter. So when we say we have a list kind of thing, when we want to define so many things in a list, then we have to delimitate it by a comma. So we'll say that two things are different, we will indicate it by using a comma. Then this is to be used for signal assignment. This kind of symbol will be used for a signal assignment. Then user defined names, letter, numbers, underscores start with a letter. So these are the things available to us. We can use, if you want to define anything, you can use letters, you can use numbers, you can use underscores. Okay. Now for example, if you want to use any kind of identifier, so as I said, we have to use that identifier. We have to start with it as a letter. Okay, numericals, underscores are allowed. It is case insensitive. No two consecutive underscores are allowed. Must begin with a letter and not a VHDL keyword. These are the important things which we should remember whenever we are giving any kind of user defined identifier. Now for example here, my signal underscore 23. This is allowed. Okay, my signal underscore 23. RDY, RDY, RDY. If you have any one letter out of this as a small or a capital word, then it will be considered as a one variable only, one identifier only. We will say that they are identical identifiers. They are not separate. Vector underscore and vector. So it is not a identifier, correct identifier. Why? Because we have used and a special character. Last of Z out. The white spaces are not allowed. Whenever you want to give space, you should use underscore. Okay. Idle state. Then you see that there are two consecutive underscores. That is also not allowed. 24th signal. It is allowed? No, it is not, because it starts with a letter. It is not starting with a letter but starting with a number 2. Then open comma register. These again two are not allowed because they are VHDL keywords. Okay, this is the way when you are defining any kind of identifier, either in generics or in constant or in variable, you should be careful that you should follow the VHDL rules. Now we have seen entity because it interfaces the architecture. Okay, we have seen implementation, behavior, functions of entity. Then we have seen configuration, model chaining, structure, hierarchy. Then we'll see process, concurrency, event control, package, modular design, standard solutions, data types, constants, library, compilation, objects. These are the things which are called as structural elements of the VHDL. Now VHDL allows for a hierarchical model layout. Hierarchical model layout is allowed in VHDL. A module can be assembled out of several submodules. Connections between submodules defined within the architecture of a top module. For example, if you want to make a full adder. Now you know that full adder can be made by using two half adder and a OR gate. So two modules of half adder and one module of OR gate. So in total we require three modules to make a one full adder. So such kind of hierarchy is available in case of C. For this example, you can see that we are having input at A, B and carrying. The output is sum and carry. Then we have module 1, we have module 2 of half address. The third module is of OR gate, and in between we may have to use some words like W underscore sum, W underscore carry 1, W underscore carry 2. All these things which you define inside are called as signals. These are signals. Now for this, if you want to write down entity for AND gate, entity AND gate has two inputs A, B, which are in standard logic, output as out standard logic. After entity, we are writing a program and we have written the program in data flow. Output assigned with A and B. Okay, and we are giving a delay as well after 5 nanoseconds. Now the second thing is we are now defining a second module. One module we have defined it, module number 3. Now we are defining module 1 and 2, and which is a half adder. We'll say entity half adder is port AB in standard logic sum carry, out standard logic, so two inputs A and B, two outputs sum and carry. And the architecture now see says structural architecture. We are using a structural architecture for a half adder. Component X or 2. We are defining first the component as X or 2. Port A, B in standard logic, C out standard logic, end component. Then we are defining another component AND 2. So we'll say port A, B in standard logic, C out standard logic, end component. So we have defined two components here. So what we are doing is in half adder we are defining two more components of a AND gate and an OR gate, and we are using them to make a half adder. So see the hierarchy. So we are module in a module. We will say that we wanted to define a module for a half adder. In that we are putting two different module of a AND gate and XOR gate. So we'll say EXVN. We are calling this in a architecture. How we are calling? We'll say begin and then we call x1 or 1. We have called these two XOR2 and we are mapping a port A, B, B, C sum, and this is the way. So this is the way we define half adder, a half adder module. Writing the highest hierarchy entity full adder is port A, B carrying in bit, sum carry, out bit, and full architecture structure of full adder is. Then we are defining here signals. Under the architecture we are defining signals. I told you signals are W sum, W carry 1 and W underscore carry 2. These three signals as you have seen in the diagram as well, W sum, W carry 1 and W carry 2. Then say we call component first component. We are calling component half adder which we have defined recently. Port AB, then we are port AB in bit carry, and this is port map end component. Then we call a component OR gate, port AB in bit RS, and this is the way we get a signal. यहाँ पे you can see this entity half adder is port AB component. We have defined it. We define it like this. So begin. This is the way execution will happen. So half adder में जाकर के these two things will be. Then we are mapping another module. Okay. First we have mapped module 1. Okay, this is the way we are mapping another module, module 1, module 2 and a module 3. Now we will see the process. Process is the instruction. The process in VHDL is the mechanism by which sequential statements can be executed in the correct sequence and with more than one process concurrently. See, as we know that VHDL is a concurrent language, and if you want to execute any kind of sequential function in it, then you have to go with the process instruction. So whatever executed under the process, it will be executed serially, sequentially. And if you have multiple processes, if you have written a VHDL program which has multiple processes, then the processes will be executed concurrently, but inside that process things will happen sequentially. It contains sequentially executed statements, exists within an architecture. Only several processes run concurrently. Execution is controlled either via sensitivity list. So whatever sensitivity list you say, you are writing it after process. So whatever things comes after process in parenthesis in bracket will be called as a sensitivity list. Okay, then we call them as a trigger signals. Okay, or you can put a wait statement as. So this is the way. When we say process, this is the way executions will be happening. No concurrent way, no parallel way, but sequentially, serially things will be executed. These are the examples where we are putting it conditions. Wait for type expressions, wait for 10 nanosecond like that. Wait until clock 1. So this is condition. Wait on sensitivity list. Wait on enable. Enable, so you are putting it in a bracket of sensitivity list. Or complex wait is wait until date after 10 nanosecond. So this is wait on something. If you want to put it, this is the way. So this is the way you have to write down to process, and after that the whatever things comes under bracket actually are the sensitivity list, and those are enabled. So unless and until these things will be enabled, process will not be executed. VHDL provides a construct called sensitivity list of a process. The list specified next to the process keywords, the same as wait on sensitivity list at the end of the process. See the signal 1, signal 2, signal 3 begin. See the execution. Now once the line has executed signal, and if you observe signal 2 has changed, again it will happen sequentially, and then signal 3 will change like this. Okay, so on every signal change things will just, we'll go back to the same sum and see it once again. A is assigned with value 2, B is assigned with value A plus C, A is assigned with value as D plus 1, and E is assigned with a value as 2. We remember initially all of them are having 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 value. So after execution of a process, A will become 2, then 2 plus 1, 3. B will become A plus C. A was 1, C was 1, so it will become 2. And E will become 1 into 2 as equal to 2, because it has been executed sequentially. It has been executed sequentially under the condition of only change in value of C and D. Okay. Now variables, if you talk about variables, variables are available within process, named within process, declarations known only in this process. It is, so variables we can define under process. It is immediate assignment and it will be valid only for that process. An assignment to a variable is made with a symbol like this. You use this kind of symbol to assign that. The assignment take instant effect, and each variable can be assigned new values as many times as needed. A variable declaration looks similar to a signal declaration and starts with a variable keyword. Keep the last value. Possible assignment, signal to variable, variable to signal, type have to match. This is one. So it is immediate assignment, and whenever you want to change, you can change it, no problem. Say variables and signals. In a process, only the last signal assignment is carried out in case of signal. Okay, assign when the process execution is suspended, and this is the way you indicated. If you talk about variable, it will be assigned immediately. You will not wait for complete execution of a process. The last value is kept as a value of that variable, and this is the way to indicate assignment. Okay. Now here for understanding variables and signals in a proper way, let us see this. Signals A, B, C, X, Y. In first case they were integers. Okay. Now we'll begin. We'll process. Process is varied under condition A, B, and C. Now here variable M and N are integers. As I told you, variables will be given a value immediately, whereas signals will be getting the value after the execution of a process. So now in this case, if we say M is A and N is B, the assignment, and M and N are integers and are variables, so they will be immediately assigned a value as A and B. And if you say X is equal to M plus N, then actually you will be getting X is equal to A plus B, because it is a immediate assignment. And if you say M is equal to C, again immediate assignment, and now you are saying Y equal to M plus N. So the earlier value of M, A will not be there, but the latest available value to it will be C, and hence instead of A plus B, M plus N, it will be showing it as C plus B. Y will be showing it as a C plus B. Now on another case, if you say, if you define instead of them as a variable, you define them as a process. So where you define it, you do not define signals under the process. You can define signals under the variables under the process. Okay. Now here you are defining signal earlier as it is signal A, B, C, X, Z as integers. Now M and N are signals there. The begin process, now we are saying M is assigned with value A, N is assigned with value B, and now we are saying X is equal to M plus N. Then we assign M as C, and we are saying Y is equal to M plus N. See the difference. Earlier it was, we had used same instruction there. Okay. Only the assignment parameter has changed, since as there were the variables, the assignment symbol was like this, and here these are M and N are variable signals, hence the assignment symbol is this. We assign them as a value of A and B, but at last if you see, M is given as a value as C. So whatever the latest value will be covered. So if you say X equal to M plus N, Y equal to M plus N, then it will not be showing as A plus B and C plus B, but it will show you as C plus B for both, because the latest value of M is, even though it was been assigned after this. So this is the way you have to remember that whenever we use, we have to be careful whenever we want to use variables. And this is the way whatever is seen from the process. It is convention to specify things in a sequential way. Then we have to use the process instructions. Process are concurrent statements, though inside the process things will be executed sequentially. Okay, one linked to process of another entity architecture pair via entity interface. So if you want to link it to that, then you have to do it through, say here P1, P2 and P3, three processes are there, and they will be executed like this. They will be executed parallelly. Okay, under the ABC, ABE, under AC and under BD condition. So we have just seen a features of VHDL. We have seen structural elements of, we have seen hierarchy layout, example of a full adder. Then we had there full adder. If we go by hierarchy, we had OR gate, then XOR and AND gate is making a half adder, then OR gate and two half adder making a full adder. Like this a hierarchy. Then we see process instructions, how it functions, and then we see variables. So questions can be put on a comment. Thank you.